The South China Sea, located in the western Pacific Ocean, has always been a focus of international attention. Over the past decade, China and the Philippines have been in dispute over the territorial ownership of the islands here. In order to counter China's sovereignty claims in the South China Sea, the Philippine government has even further strengthened its military cooperation with the United States. They have signed a number of military agreements to allow the U.S. military to be stationed in the Philippines, and the two sides have also held a number of military exercises to form an effective check on China's claims. In June of this year, the Philippines even began to increase the frequency of patrols in the South China Sea, an action that directly increased tensions with China. Faced with the provocation of the Philippines, China has now taken unprecedented trade sanctions. According to data from Chinese customs, the supply of Philippine bananas in the Chinese market has been greatly reduced, with imports falling 44% from the previous total to only $80 million. Bananas have always been the main export product of the Philippines to China, and this change has caused local farmers to lose $170 million. But no one expected that in this Sino-Philippine dispute, an unexpected beneficiary appeared: Vietnam. So, in today's video, we will take a deep look at the conflict between China and the Philippines and why Vietnam has become the biggest winner. If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. The Philippines is an archipelago country located in Southeast Asia, consisting of more than 7,100 islands and a total land area of about 300,000 square kilometers. Despite its vast land area, most of the land is covered by dense tropical rainforests and steep mountains, which makes the land suitable for farming relatively small. Fortunately, the Philippines has unique soil conditions. Due to the deposition of volcanic ash, the soil in the Philippines is very fertile, which provides an excellent foundation for agricultural production, especially the cultivation of tropical fruits. It is precisely because of this fertile soil that the Philippines has always been known as an agricultural power. As far as I know, agriculture contributes significantly to the Philippine economy, and 20% of the country's GDP comes from agriculture. The Philippines has a wide variety of agricultural products, among which bananas are one of the most important export agricultural products. The annual banana production in the Philippines is as high as about 9 million tons, making the Philippines one of the largest banana exporters in the world. With the help of advanced cold chain technology, the Philippines can keep its best taste and quality whether in hot summer or cold winter. This mature industrial chain operation mode makes Philippine bananas popular in the international market. Many countries, including South Korea, Japan, and Malaysia, have shown great enthusiasm and preference for Philippine bananas, and China is no exception. As a superpower with a population of 1.4 billion, China's annual banana consumption has reached an astonishing 14.5 million to 16 million tons. However, domestic banana production can only meet 11 million to 12.5 million tons, which has led to China's need to import about 3.5 million tons of bananas from abroad each year to fill the gap between supply and demand. Since 2018, China has imported about 1.2 million tons of bananas from the Philippines, with a transaction value of about $540 million, making China surpass Japan as the largest importer of Philippine bananas. In the past few years, the number of bananas imported by China from the Philippines has remained above 1 million tons each year. Through these transactions, the Philippines earns an average of about $500 million from exports to China each year. But since 2024, China's trade in fruit products with the Philippines has continued to decline by only 50%. So, what is going on behind this? Since the 1990s, the Philippines has claimed sovereignty over Hualien Island and other islands and reefs in the South China Sea, and has militarily interfered with the activities of Chinese fishermen near the South China Sea. This situation escalated further after the Ferdinand Marcos government took office in 2022. Under Marcos's leadership, the Philippines strengthened its cooperation with Western countries and launched greater provocations against China's behavior in the South China Sea. In addition, the Senate of the Philippine Congress passed an amendment to a bill allowing the government to claim sovereignty over all artificial islands and reefs within its exclusive economic zone. By 2023, the Philippine government's behavior in the South China Sea region had become more aggressive, repeatedly misinterpreting and smearing China's legitimate maritime law enforcement activities in public, attempting to mislead the international community. In February 2023, the United States and the Philippines reached an agreement to add 4 military bases in the Philippines for the United States to use and restart joint patrols in the South China Sea, further exacerbating tensions in the region. In 2024, tensions in the South China Sea continued to escalate. The Philippine military conducted provocative replenishment activities in the waters of Renai Reef, which aroused a strong response from the Chinese Coast Guard. During the year, the Philippines carried out several violations that were considered illegal in many places in the South China Sea. In February, the Philippine Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Bureau's ship 3005 broke into the waters near China's Huangyan Island. In March, despite China's warnings and dissuasion, 34 Philippine personnel boarded the Iron Line Reef to carry out activities. In April, the Philippine Coast Guard ship 4410 and the Public Service ship 3004 invaded the waters near Huangyan Island. In the same month, the Philippines even participated in a joint maritime exercise held in Australia, the United States, Japan, and the Philippines with the U.S. Navy's Mobile Littoral Combat Ship, which involved about 5,400 Philippine Armed Forces personnel and 12,000 American soldiers. In June 2024, the Philippines sent a supply ship and 2 inflatable boats to illegally intrude into the waters near China's Renai Reef, aiming to deliver supplies to the Philippine warship Mount Madre that was illegally grounded in the area. In the process, the Philippine supply ship deliberately took dangerous approach actions and deliberately collided with China's normal sailing ships. In response, the Chinese Coast Guard took a series of countermeasures in accordance with the law, including warning interception, boarding inspection, and forced expulsion to maintain regional law and order. Although the Philippines' behavior was obviously provocative, Philippine President Marcos said that the Filipinos have no intention of provoking war and hope that will always be committed to resolving disputes in a peaceful manner. Faced with a series of provocative actions by the Philippines in 2024, China can only impose unprecedented trade sanctions on the Philippines. In 2024, China began to reduce the amount of bananas imported from the Philippines. According to statistics, in just 3 months, the import volume of Philippine bananas decreased by about 290,000 tons, causing direct economic losses of about $170 million. This reduction reflects the decline in demand for Philippine bananas in the Chinese market, as well as changes in Chinese consumer sentiment. Many Chinese people have begun to boycott Philippine bananas and instead buy bananas from other countries. According to statistics from China Customs, in the first half of 2024, China imported a total of 900,000 tons of bananas, of which only 20%, or about 180,000 tons, were imported from the Philippines. This figure is a significant decrease of 40% compared with previous years. From the above data, we can see that the current situation of Philippine bananas in the Chinese market is also a dilemma of the Philippine economic dilemma. This change has not only affected the Philippines' agricultural export income, but also had a significant impact on its economy. It is worth mentioning that although the Chinese government has not imposed an explicit import ban on bananas from the Philippines at the official level, Chinese consumers have expressed their dissatisfaction in the most direct way, boycotting Philippine bananas. And Philippine banana farmers are very dissatisfied and worried. They believe that the Chinese approach ignores their hard work. After all, Due to the contraction of the Chinese market, many bananas originally planned to be exported to China are at risk of being unsaleable or even rotten, which has dealt a direct blow to the farmers' economic situation. In order to deal with these unsaleable bananas, farmers have to invest more money to build cold storage and purchase preservation equipment to extend the storage period of bananas. These additional investments increase their economic pressure and may affect their livelihoods and family economy. Interestingly, while China's banana trade with the Philippines was blocked, Vietnam quickly seized the opportunity and significantly increased its banana exports to China, successfully filling the market gap left by the Philippines. In the first 6 months of this year, Vietnam exported about 450,000 tons of bananas to China, which made Vietnam account for nearly 50% of China's total banana imports and earned about $500 million from it. In addition to Vietnam, other ASEAN countries such as Laos and Cambodia are also actively increasing banana exports to the Chinese market. These countries have favorable climatic conditions and relatively low labor costs, and the bananas they produce are comparable in quality to those of the Philippines. Today, the Philippines is no longer the main source of China's banana imports. But as one of the Philippines' most important export industries, bananas are vital to the Philippine economy. For the Philippines, they should realize that the banana issue is not only a warning but also an opportunity. In today's context of globalization and trade integration, no country can really stay out of it, and no country does not need the Chinese market. If the Philippines hopes to restart trade cooperation with China, the first thing it needs to do is to face reality and give up those unrealistic ideas. Only in this way can the relationship between the two countries be improved and return to the track of mutually beneficial and win-win cooperation. So, do you think it is right for China to reduce imports of Philippine bananas? To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.